It is Tuesday, February 7th, 2023. We are here for some Astro chat and chill. Starting to clip these because I know that I say some really good shit in here. But not everybody is going to sit through an hour-long live stream or an hour-long replay. So, look forward to seeing clips of, oh, fuck, I just bumped my knee. Look forward to seeing clips of things that come here on YouTube and TikTok. Although I have been reposting the whole live stream on YouTube, just because it's easier that way. And I see that now that I've been streaming for over a week or for a while now, I see that Twitch does actually, I feel like I'm just bumping into everything. I'm just like a jiggly mess with all of my bracelets today. Anyway, I see that Twitch does archive or recycle or whatever my live streams. So you can look back at all of the live stream replays over on YouTube. And the fun thing about that is that what am I even trying to say? Wow. Today is one of those days, y'all. Just transparently. Oh, right. Why am I putting them on YouTube? Because I want to. And also because I feel like it'll be really fun at a certain point, kind of the same way that we do with our planners, with my 2023 planner, which I've shown before here, but I mean, I can do another walkthrough if we want. But with the planner, it is really fun to actually not just observe it, but put in your answers and put down how you were feeling today and what happened today, how you responded to the environment today, what actually happened. Because in the future, you'll be able to look back at that and say, oh my gosh, Fani was right. We were a month away from Saturn entering Pisces and she said this was going to happen and there it did. Or just whatever, just the same way that I was saying to you yesterday. I didn't realize that I regularly release things when the moon is in Cancer. So that either means one of two things for me. It depends on what it is that I'm releasing. Does that mean that I'm very intuitive and that I'm responding to what it is that I actually want to be creating? Because Cancer rules my second house. So it is a tangible, here, I'm going to put this out. You pay me now, right? Second house kind of stuff. But it could also be because second house for me is where, if we're talking about a whole sign perspective, which I'm just going to default to that from now on while we're talking here, because again, it's just easier for folks who maybe aren't as astro savvy to catch on to that concept. So because I know that Cancer rules my second house and that is where my Chiron is, if I'm releasing things at that time, it could also be like a response to discomfort or a response to I'm trying to fix something, right? I'm feeling anxious about something, or I'm feeling oh no, something's going on and I need to fix it, right? So sometimes those things that I release at a Cancer moon could be great, and sometimes they could be not so much. So that's just one thing that I can be observing, but you get the picture. All right, so let's talk about the astrology of the day. Go ahead and share my screen, friends. Welcome, welcome. Say hello if you're here. And if you're watching the replay, hello, you in the future. What a weird time warp situation we've got going on. You can comment below too. I'll see them later. Or you can come hop into my Discord. Would love to see you. The link is in on my profile, right? You can just go ahead and tap over there. Hello, my friend. I see that I have some notifications in Discord, so I don't know if they're from you, but hi, friend. See you. And I hope that you're having a lovely day. Today is Tuesday, the day of Mars. So today is a day for taking action. Today's a day for being motivated. And I think it's so weird that our days of the week, this is why I work fully, transparently, this is why I work Tuesday through Saturday. Because I think that makes more sense. I think it makes more sense for a work week, and also for the 2 days that we would have off. Wouldn't you want the day of Leo, like Sunday and Monday, like it's the sun and the moon day. Like sun and moon day should be days off. I don't know. Call the president. We need to fix this. If you want to have a 5-day work week, that would be so fucked up, y'all. Okay. Because we're pushed, right? Like we as workers, or we as like the working class, there's been this discussion, and like some people, some companies even experiment with a 4-day work week. I like have a 4-day work week according to the public. Like I work like my DMs are open Monday through Thursday, and then like you can only book in sessions with me like Tuesday through Thursday. And there's a reason for that. For me, what makes the most sense, like just transparently, is for me to have Sunday, as much as I can, Sunday off and Monday off. Sunday, I'm doing stuff to just like enjoy life, take care of myself. Like, I try not to do much of anything that day, just kind of hanging out and having fun, because that is what Sunday is for. Sun day. It is the day of the sun. It is the day of Leo, right? So it is me. I want to have fun. And I've been talking about this. This has been like a hugely relevant conversation. And it could actually be just like the Venus and Pisces of it all, because we have Venus and Pisces right now. Because that is definitely a moment where you might feel like you have to self-sacrifice for what you love. Like, I have to labor for my love, or like I have to work hard. I haven't earned it yet, or whatever, right? Or like the whole, gosh, I know that you here feel this, right? The starving artist, like kind of archetype, right? Very Venus and Pisces. Why was I saying that? Oh, because I keep seeing this like theme over and over that, people are really like, you cannot, and it's so cliche, but you cannot pour from an empty cup. And it like, you can hear that over and over, but until you like actually like have the change, like actually like do it, it's I don't even know, like just it reminds me of being like in a very like emotionally heightened, like your nervous system is like on alert, you're in fight or flight, you're freaking out, you're emotionally, and someone tells you to calm down, or like what the fuck, like great directive, bro, like what the fuck are you talking about, calm down? Like I just like knowing what you need to move forward, or what it, right, knowing the thing to do is one thing, and actually doing it is another. And for me, that was the fill your own cup thing for so fucking long, and I keep hearing that just over and over. Like I know I've got a DM from one of my other private clients about this right now. It's something we were discussing this morning. I know that this is something that we've been working on together, right? And this is just, it's so fucking real, man. Like, and it can be such a bizarre kind of shift too, because once you are taking good care of yourself, I say this all the time, like the external situation doesn't even have to change. For so many people, we try to change the external because we think that that's what's required in order for us to be happy. It's like, oh, I'm not happy because I need to have like a slamming body, or like I'm not happy because I'm not in a committed relationship, or I'm not happy because I don't have the job I want, or whatever, right? X, Y, Z, like it literally doesn't matter. Now, some of those things can improve the circumstances of our lives, like can make our day-to-day experience be more exciting and more fun and more fulfilling, right? But overall, it is always within your power to come into a state of like internal peace, and to come into a state of internal like satisfaction, I guess. And that's what I like try to get so many people. You have to get there before you can even make a move, right? Because you have to feel safe before you can make good decisions to make a move. And then like once you're there, you may realize like, oh, I don't actually, the thing that I thought that I wanted, I don't want that. or I'm totally good now because it wasn't actually my external, it was internal the whole time. And that's so much of what I see going on right now. Like, once you shift the way that you perceive things, the way that you respond to things, because you are from a, like, operating from a state of wholeness. Like, you are, you know, we talk about like holistic wellness or like holistic happiness, holistic satisfaction. Like, this is the kind of shit that I mean. Like, I'm not really, like, once, like, I literally, like, started preparing to go live here, like, at 8:58. You know, I go live every day at 9 o'clock. I just, like, don't really have it today. Like, I've taken my medication. I've got, like, great music going on back here. I went to yoga. Like, there's no, oh, I'm about to ovulate. And that's something that right? Another one of those things that I tell you about, just like everyone has different rhythms and they're based on different things. The moon, your cycle, the people in your life, like the other people around you, the weather, like there's so many things that have an impact on your state, right? Your state of mind and your state of like energy or whatever. And some of those things you can manipulate. Like some of those things, it's like, well, have I had enough water to drink today? Have I eaten something today? Like, and if I've checked all those boxes, which is what I was just doing, right? I've taken my medication, I've eaten, I've gone to yoga, I've gotten my Celsius, like this is almost empty. I should have so much more energy than this. Like, I've summoned all of the energy that I can for this today. And then after this, I'm probably going to like crawl into bed and maybe I'll do some edits because I've got my phone right here. Hi, phone. I've got my phone right here behind my camera, right behind my my computer, so that I can make clips for TikTok or Reels or whatever. And so maybe I'll do that in bed. Maybe I'll respond to some Discord messages in bed. But I had planned on recording a podcast episode today. I don't feel like it. So I'm not going to. Tomorrow, I have like one consultation call. And that's pretty much all I have going on tomorrow, like on my schedule. So if there's something that I can shift today, like I'm going to do it. And that's where I get so many people in my inbox being like how do I optimize my energy according to whatever? Or like, how do I know? And again, there are certain indications, like I can tell you that maybe, right, if we go and we actually like look at my chart. I have another video about this on YouTube if this is something that you're like really into and want to explore. But, oh no, I want to look at it in whole sign with y'all. I just said that. It's just easier to digest, my friends. Okay, so like I said, I guess I usually release things around Cancer moons. That's like a monthly kind of cycle situation. I also know that during Pisces moons, I generally just don't feel like doing any, like I feel very self-critical. I don't like myself. I question myself and doubt myself and think that pretty much everything that I do is trash when the moon is in Pisces. And they're having the awareness of that is good. It's not an expectation I have, but this is like one of those things that it's like I start feeling self-critical or like I have no motivation and I'll be like, oh, is the moon in Pisces? And I'll look and lo and fucking behold, like there it is. And that's what I mean by like the longer that you do this, the longer that you pay attention to your body, how it feels on any given day, and you're doing all the other things, right? You're doing the things to fill your cup. You're meditating, you're going for walks, you're going to yoga, you're laughing with friends, you're putting on good music, right? This is holistic, okay? So if all of the areas, you know, that's where my old, like all my work, like this is where I fucked up. And I know it, you know, like in my business the last like 3 years. And it's so funny because like I can go back and I can look at this book. I can go back and I can look at like all of my programming from 2017 through like 2018, 2019 up to early 2020. All of it it's holistic. it is like literally I'm guiding you in this book about like emotional, spiritual, intellectual, relational, physical, and vocational wellness, right? And so it's like the whole self, because when your whole, like, so many people think, again, just like to circle back, like so many people think it's, oh, it's my job, or oh, it's my this, or oh, it's my that, and it's not. It's you're the fucking problem. No offense, right? Like we're all our own problem. And so this is where, like, once you address it internally, like, does the external need to change? Maybe, right? And maybe things will alter themselves around you as you shift the internal. That's a whole conversation for another day, but that is definitely what happens. Why did I go there? Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I don't know, probably because, oh, right, because I'm talking about like total cycles, right? So, like there are certain times of the year even that I'm on and that I'm not on. Like when the sun moves from, like, basically, I mean, it's like the end of Virgo season. Like Libra season, I start picking up energy. Scorpio season, I start, and it's just like an upward tilt. Like I see this as like, well, I guess you could see this as like my winter, right? And then when we get up here, this is my spring, and I'm like planting my seeds and I'm trying things and like, what are we doing? You know? It's always like January, February, March is like testing grounds for me. And then by March through May, and really like it's through the end of June. Usually in June, I get like a big money like pop. It wasn't even something that I noticed for maybe like 4 or 5 years into my business. And then I was like, oh shit, it's like every June I'm like, I get 2 or 3 pay in full clients. So it'll be like just boom, like $15,000 just like all at once, or, you know, whatever. And so, you know, now that I recognize that pattern, recognize that cycle, like I can lean into it. And that's really what I encourage people. It's like, don't try to optimize the days when you're not having it. Like, I'm not going to try. Like, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not going to have it every day. Nothing exists. Nothing fruits every single day. Like, that's some Monsanto shit. Like, that's some like not healthy shit, right? Anything that exists in nature has, you know, cycles and has inhales and exhales and ups and downs. And today is a down fucking energy day for me, and that's totally fine. I'm in my spring. I've got a ton of things I'm planting right now. So many things I'm working on. Right. And so then summer, right? My summer is when you're actually like toiling, like you're like putting in the labor, and you're getting ready for the harvest. And then the harvest is when I actually like cha-ching, like make my money. And then I go to bed, right? Because like literally, especially like this season here, the season is very much like after the money comes in like June, July, I'm like, okay, I'm done. And like, oh, and it's so actually interesting to think about June, July, because that would be like here, right? Like in Cancer. And that's my second house. It's the money house, money. And it opposes all that 8th house energy. And the 8th house is like other people's money, right? That's why, like, if you have Jupiter here, or if you have, yeah, like, I mean, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Like if you have other placements here, in the 8th house, one of my first questions is like, are you expecting an inheritance? Or like, have you married into money, or, something like that? Like I don't know, I wouldn't call it an inheritance, but I mean, I guess like, cause my dad died when he was 42. And so my stepmom collected Social Security money, like on my dad's behalf, like from 14 until I dropped out of high school when I was 18. And she didn't keep all of it, but she kept some of it. And I think it came around to like about $17,000. And that is what I like got handed. I literally, y'all, like no shit. My birthday is January 7th. It was a Sunday, was my 18th birthday. And so it was like Saturday night after midnight. I went out to like clubs with my girlfriend and like got a piercing and just like fucking did the whole thing. Sunday, spent the day like chilling and packing a bag. And then Monday, I had a plane ticket to go move to Oregon. I am from Florida, by the way, right? So packed a bag, said bye, dropped out of high school on the way to the airport, and then flew across the country to live. It did not work out. Shocker. Like an 18-year-old who thinks that they can just like go and live their life and like oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And like whatever. If my kid, woo, what do we do? What do we do with our children? Oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that right now. Yeah. So that was an adventure that I went on. Why am I talking about this? Whatever. Anyway, I'm tired today. You can be tired too. You don't have to be 12 and fucking mushroom optimize your way to like success in everything. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just something that's, oh shit. I like opened up Zoom on accident. It's just something that bums me out is this like this belief or this concept that we're supposed to be like amazing every single day. Like that's just so unrealistic, and I don't even know where that came from. Like I just truly don't. I don't know if this is like a toxic like capitalist thing, if this is like some bullshit like bro marketing like success mindset fucking nonsense. But it's just like it's an unrealistic expectation for you to have on yourself, and then on the days where you don't have it, you're like pushing. I used to do this so much and I mean, even transparently, there are still times where I get caught up in it, and I have to like literally close my laptop, put my phone on like airplane mode, put it in the other room, and just say out loud, like, I have to be done for today. Like, what if I continue to produce what I produce will not be of high quality? And if it's not of high quality, then what's the fucking point, right? And that doesn't, oh my God, but please don't hear me and interpret that as like, oh, well, I get to just be lazy every day unless everything that I put out is going to be like 150%. No, that's not what I'm fucking saying. What I'm saying is, if you are a writer, or if you are, you're someone who's good on video, you're a podcaster, whatever, and you're like tripping over your words, or you're like deleting every other sentence, or it's like you type something out and delete, type something out and delete, or just like the thoughts are not coming together, stop fucking trying. Like, just stop, put it away. Like, there's something else that you can do, whether it's rest, whether it's just moving your energy, doing something different. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. But that's not permission to just like, oh, I woke up today and I feel a little tired, or I feel a little off, or I feel a little insecure, so I'm just not going to do anything until. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. Especially if this is a pattern, right? Especially if this is something that happens like more often than not. That's something that we need to evaluate, right? Is like, is the thing that you're working on what you actually want to be working on? Is that in alignment with you? I know that for me, it is so much easier to get motivated and want to do something that I want to do versus something I don't want to do. I mean, that's fucking human nature, right? So, that's why I say, like, vote and purpose are two completely different things. Do not get that twisted. You are not like fulfilling your purpose through a job or through even a career. Even this is not my purpose. Like, helping others is something that fulfills me, like giving you like peace and insight. This is something that makes me feel good. This makes me feel like I'm making an impact in the world, but that's not my purpose. That's not why I breathe air and like why I'm on this planet, right? Like, I'm here for so much more than that. I'm here for my own reasons. I'm here for like my family's reasons. Like, there's so much more that belongs to me and myself and my soul than like what I do for fucking money. Okay. And the same goes for you, but that doesn't mean that like, oh, like work has to suck and like we don't get to enjoy what we do. Like, this is my version of like, we get to have it all. It's just that like what it all looks like is completely subjective. Like what I think is a great, awesome, fulfilling life and is gonna like set my soul on fire, make me feel really good, is like maybe completely different than yours. And that's fine. It doesn't make mine better, doesn't make yours better. It just means that they're different. And that's, I think, what so much is like missing from today in the personal development world and just from the spiritual development world is like, this is the path, or this is the thing, or this is the secret, or this is the, right? You need to optimize. You're just not trying hard enough. Well, if you just changed this, then you'd be happy. And it's like, how about let's try that in reverse. Let me get into a state of holistic happiness, or of at least being able to identify which parts of my life I'm truly unhappy with and why. And what would it look like if I were to be satisfied? So many, like, can you even answer that? Like, what does it look like and what does it feel like? And not just at an emotional level, but like at a real tangible level. Because, and this is like the whole reason that people do, you know, like vision boards and mood boards and things like that, is like, the easier it is for your mind to picture, coming back to the NLP, if you can picture it in your mind, if you can hold it in your hand, then you can put yourself in the picture. And if you can put yourself in the picture and you can reasonably see yourself there, that's where manifesting can happen quickly, right? It's when you're visualizing this picture that is so foreign to you, or so off base, or so different than what it is that you now, or like is a projection of what you think will earn you happiness, earn you respect, earn you love, earn you appreciation, whatever. Right? Though that can also be the thing that you think, right, that you're putting on your vision board is like, oh, well, I want to be famous and I want to, right, whatever. And it's like, do you though? Well, why? Right? Like, what does it mean for you to have that? And that's where we really get to dig into, like, am I just like spending all of my time and energy and like creativity on something that I don't even want? Something that's like not even like self-motivated or like internally like desired? All right. And I guess I'm talking about this. I haven't even really looked at this today, if I'm being honest with you, but I guess I'm really talking about this today because of the transits that we've got going on. Y'all check it out. So yes, the moon's in Virgo, so I know that you're in like optimization mode, like fix it mode, you know? And especially, right, like, how can I build a better routine? How can I organize this? How can if only I had the right daily routine, if only I had the right, like, let me Google Mel Robbins, like, morning routine. Absolutely not. You're going to shut it down. What is your morning routine? Like, what is it that fills you up? We're really just coming back to this, again, this like circular conversation of like, what do you want? Like, what fills your cup? What makes you feel good? And stop looking at what other people's, like, and listen, if you are totally like how I was maybe 5 or so years ago, and you like have spent so much of your life in fight or flight, and you've spent so much of your life trying to earn the approval and attention of others, while also simultaneously trying to like dim yourself down because wanting people's approval and attention is like unbecoming or whatever, like something to be ashamed of. You're likely not in a state of like having, like, even knowing what fun is, or like even knowing like what fills your cup, right? It's like, I've spent so much time in responsibility land, or so much time trying to be everything to everyone else. Like, I don't even know what makes me happy anymore. So, okay, if you need to get some ideas from other people, if you need to do that, that's fine, but don't attach meaning to it. It's like, if you know by now that I love yoga. Yoga is like everything to me. It is basically religion. When, I'm getting my teacher training soon. Holy shit, I'm so excited. It starts in a month. I'm just like, it's already my favorite thing that I've done this year, and I haven't even done it. And so I'm getting my teacher training, and, this is something that, changed everything in my life. everything in my life changed when I started like taking my yoga practice very seriously, and not just like my yoga practice, but like integrating myself into a community of people. Like that was a really big part of it. So it's taken me a really long time to figure that out though. And I've tried a lot of other things along the way. And, you know, some of it was based on maybe like what I saw mentors do, or what I saw friends do, or what I had, or friends, right? Like biz besties, acquaintances, because I really just like didn't even have social relationships other than like my work, or like my networking friends, or like my immediate like relationships. Just, I was so sucked into responsibility and doing and being and performing. And I know that that's the case for so many people. I mean, fuck, we live in just like a capitalist driven society where the, you know, wealth distribution is so off balance that there are a lot of people who get to do fucking nothing, and good for them, I guess. And then there are a lot of us who are just like filling every single minute of our day, every single minute of our agenda with productivity. And if it's not productive, then we need to have earned it, right? Like there are times where, like when I go lay down later, this is just to be real with you, when I go lay down after I'm done with this live stream, I will lay in bed and I will think to myself, I should get up and work. I will feel an urge to justify why I need to rest. I will feel like I have to answer to something, or like I'm going to need to list, well, I've done this and this and this and this and this and this. And you know what? That is like, who asked for that? Who do I really have to answer to? Like my boyfriend didn't ask for that. My daughter didn't ask for that. I don't have a, right, like nobody's asking for that. Like I am allowed to take time. Like that is okay. I'm a person. This is part of the like reprogramming. This is part of the like, this is my new normal. Like this is my standard for myself, and I will uphold it. It will be uncomfortable. It could be uncomfortable. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's going to be a super breeze for you. It can be uncomfortable. Embrace it. Embrace the change. Embrace the discomfort. Okay? Because that's the only way that you're going to get through it. Like it is the goo, you know? But so much of what we have going on today, we talked a little bit about Mercury sextile Neptune yesterday, just like really like awakening vision, awakening dreams, and trying to get you into a state of like figuring it out. Like, how am I going to make this happen? Like, how am I going to, like realize this dream or whatever? And the thing about like Neptune transits is I don't think it's a good time actually for figuring things out. It's actually a great time just for letting loose and dreaming. Like journal it out, pull out your, you know, your tarot cards, your oracle deck, whatever. This is a really good time for just allowing intuition to freely, openly, like, you know, take off the veil or whatever. And I know it can be scary. Last week I cried when I got that. We were watching TV in bed. I mean, I went live about it already, but like, so I won't go too far into it, but I definitely cried in bed. I shot up in bed and just started bawling because like Saturn moves into Aries in 2025. And here we have like one of the like top military people in our government, like talking shit and basically like putting out this memo saying, hey, I have a feeling we're gonna be in war in 2025. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to know the future. Like it freaks me out. Like knowing the future is, I mean, a little helpful, I guess. Like I get to anticipate like what might happen, and I get to, you know, prepare a little bit better for it, even if it's just like mentally and spiritually. But holy shit, like, yeah, it can be very jarring. I get that. That's why when intuition speaks, it's not necessarily a great time to just leap into action. That's why even at new moons, like new moons are a time for setting intentions, but it's not like you just go, right? Just leap into action. Like it's a great time. Write it down, get the intention set, and then keep your fucking eyes open, right? Like look around for what is new. I've made a new decision, and thus that opens up new pathways, and possibilities for change to occur in my reality. So who am I seeing now that I don't normally see? What am I doing that I don't normally do? Just there's so many different things that could happen. And that is also just like, don't try to figure that out. Allow intuition to speak to you. Get it out, like get your thoughts out. Don't keep them cooped up in here. I would encourage you to really journal it out today. Or if you're not like a journaler or a journaler, I type 90 words a minute. So it's really hard for me to want to like write something, like it's so analog. But if that's your vibe, like totally go for it. Or if you're like me or like a lot of my clients, maybe you just like pull out your voice memos and just like pull out your phone and just like speak it out so that it's like literally out of your head and out of your body, because that's so much of the discomfort with Mercury transits as well. So when we see like a Mercury Neptune transit, it's like God is speaking to me and I'm supposed to figure it out and do something with it. And it's like, that is a completely foreign language. Maybe don't try to leap right into action with it. Maybe don't try to like just go right into figuring it out. Maybe let it percolate. Maybe let like the vision and everything like integrate into your cells. Like maybe sit with it for a little bit before you actually just like take a leap. But what this is a good time for is really dreaming about, okay, so if this is what I want, if this is what I see for myself, for my world, for my community, for my reality, like who am I going to have to become? The question I always ask myself is, what am I going to have to do, have, or be in order for me to have this, in order for this to be something that I believe is true and I can hold it, right? So what am I going to have to do? That's easy. Actions. What actions am I going to have to take? Have. What am I going to have? What am I going to, resources? What will I require along the way, right? Whether that's tools, support, knowledge, whatever, money, okay? Do, have, and be. Be is the big one. Who will you have to be? Like, in order for me to step into XYZ level, like what does that mean? What responsibilities will I have to take on, if any? Like what will that mean about the way people see me? What will that change internally, externally about the way that I view myself or my identity? These are all of the things that you want to like contemplate and get out, because are they true? Maybe not. Like I remember for a long time, this was a huge one for me. And this might sound really funny now, like just looking at me and like going to my website or like looking at my vibe. But like back in, was it 2019? I think, 2018, 2019. I was so like, I don't want to say like basic looking, but like, I had like just like a bob, like, my normal, like my brown hair, I dressed in like Abercrombie, and it's because we live in like a nice area of town. Oh, I'm also 4'10". So if you're like, why is she this like 30-year-old woman dressing in Abercrombie? It's because I don't like fit into adult clothes. Like I'm like Angela, I'm gonna like go shop at the American Doll store or something, American Girl store. Get like clothes for colonial sized dolls. Anyways, so she, right, 2018, 2019, we were moving over here. This is a really nice part of town. Like this is like, the side of town. My family, like my dad would have never like tried to move over here, would have never thought that we could have lived over here. And, we do it for the schools because these are the best schools in the area. Like my daughter goes to a public school that's basically like a private school. They've got like their own foundation and they have like, it's like they, like the parents and everything, like we pay for them to have the things that they don't have at public schools. So they have like a full arts program. Like my daughter is going to be going to like a coding camp this afternoon after school. It's like she's learning how to code and like build video games. My daughter's 7, right? So this is like a second grade, like elementary school thing. They've got yoga there. They've got all kinds of shit, right? Like this is not a thing that they have at other elementary schools in the area. So that's why we're here, right? But I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to be over here and if I'm going to fit in with his family, his being my boyfriend's family, they're from New York. They're very like, they're all a little bit older than me, like his sisters and, you know, but they're just like very conventional, right? Now we all go, not all of us, but like a couple of us, probably about half of us go to like festivals. We'll go to EDC and like drop acid and like be half naked and like wear body paint and stuff together. So like, okay, we've gotten very comfortable with each other now. But back then I thought, okay, I need to look the part. Like I need to be like South Tampa. I don't even know how else to say it. It's like, it's conventional. It is preppy, right? It is, you know, conventional white lady, okay? And oof, I felt so uncomfortable in my body. I felt so uncomfortable in my skin. I did not like go on video that much. I didn't like being photographed. I didn't really go out that much even. Like I was such a homebody. And as soon as I started letting myself like express myself again, as soon as I started like, well, why do I think that this is required of me? Well, it's because I thought that that's what I thought that like people might bully my daughter. I thought that maybe she would make friends with people whose parents wouldn't let her hang out with them. I just didn't want my weirdness to impact my daughter's social life because she's so social. She loves people. She just like is so caring and she just wants to be everybody's friend. And that's what I wanted so much when I was a kid. And I didn't have that. And I want her to have that. I want to be able to give that to her. Or at least to just like, if that's what she wants and, you know, to have the space for her to have that. And so I remember just thinking, okay, well, if we're going to move over there and this is like, we're going to be in South Tampa, like I've got to look the part. And I remember, oh my God. Oh, I have this like vivid memory of, when was this? 2020 it would have been probably. And yeah, because it was like masks and stuff. It was like November 2020. I went and I went on a personal shopping like trip. Like I had a personal shopper with me at Neiman Marcus. Fun fact though, the personal shopper that I had at Neiman Marcus were like still Facebook friends, or not Facebook friends. She's way younger than me. We're like Instagram, like TikTok friends. And she is like a festival, like she's a fellow festy bestie. Which anyway, just like circle moment. But yeah, like who the fuck am I to go like on a personal shopping trip at Neiman Marcus? And it's not that there's anything wrong with spending like money on my clothes, because like I've got this beautiful jacket that I get compliments on every time I go out in it. I love it so much. It's this like big furry jacket from Aloe Yoga. It's like almost $300. So it's not like, I'm not saying like, oh, I can't like spend money on myself or I'm not allowed to have nice things. What I'm saying is that like, it was just so out of character. Like, it's just not me. It was like I was dressed up as someone else. Because I thought that that's who I had to be, that that's what I needed to do in order for me to have the thing, right? In order for me to fit in here, in order for me to have a community here, in order for his family to accept me, I'm going to need to be this. And just like that wasn't even true. This is a good day for you to not make plans, to not do anything about it, but to just get it out. Like, what do I want for myself and what do I think I need to make that happen? Because it may or may not even be true. Today may not even be a good day for you to evaluate that. Just get it out, okay? Especially because this is at the same time that we have Venus sextiling Uranus, okay? So this is very much about artistic expression, being who you are, doing what you want. And then with Uranus being in Taurus, that's about the finance, the financial part of this. Venus sextiling Uranus right now, like this is like just screaming to me, like Like, I want to be me. And is that something I can get paid for? Like, am I allowed to like make money? Am I allowed to be abundant? Am I allowed to have everything that I want? Or is this like totally bananas? Like, is this just like a too radical of a concept? Very much a Uranus, moment. So, with all of that going on at the same time that we have the moon in Virgo, I know that you might be feeling like self-critical, or you might be looking at your surroundings and being like, well, this is not what the fuck I want, right? The vision that I have in here is so different than this. Try not to judge it, okay? Things can happen so fast. Like things can change in an absolute instant. All it takes is one conversation, one decision, one invoice, one fucking moment for everything to change. So I don't want you to get so hung up on what is happening right now and make this mean something about you. I really want you to think about planting the seed concept. I love you so much. I'm glad I'm speaking to you. I want you to think about that planting the seed concept, because when you're planting seeds, it doesn't just like, there's a tree. Like, that's not how it fucking works, okay? If you're planting seeds now, the reality of what's now is not actually what you have coming. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I'm planting seeds now, or if I have been planting seeds, and I am nurturing myself, I'm nurturing what I'm growing right now, I will live in the expectation of excitement, of exhilaration, of, oh my gosh, like, things are about to sprout. Things are sprouting soon. Like, things are happening for me. And it's living with that. Like, I would encourage you to live with the belief that, like, a breakthrough, that the next thing, it is right around the corner. It is the next thing that happens. Like, it is just like, we're right there. And I was talking to a client about this a couple of months ago. She was talking about how she wants like this big Plutonian shift, right? This very, like, she's kind of what I'm saying right now. Like, she's looking at her life and she was saying, like, what I want is so fucking different than what I'm living right now. And that's so overwhelming to me. And what I had to remind her is that Pluto is the bringer of change, right? It's like, it is death and rebirth. It is something like, we are in a completely different space than we were when we started, right? And that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a month. It doesn't happen in even a couple of years. Like, this is a journey. But when you're on the other side of it, or like when you're even like most of the way through it, it's like, holy shit, like, that was so fast. Like, when you think about 2008, that doesn't feel like that long ago. Like, when someone says to me like 2000, like the 2000s, you know, it's like, yeah, 2008. No, that was almost 20 years ago. Shut your mouth. Are you kidding me? Stop it. Ew. What? That's how it happens here, though, right? Like, I was thinking about one of my transits that I'm having right now, and it's talking about like, it's a Saturn square, like, or something like that, or no, I'm sorry, it's a sextile, whatever. But I'm having this moment, and it's like, 14 years ago you started a journey, and I'm like, 14 years ago. I was like, what was 14 years ago? I'm like, I'm 34. I'm like, oh my God, I was 20. I was like, are you talking about like my beginning into psychedelics? Like, my beginning into like my emotional and spiritual journey? Because that's really when I started like my inner child healing journey, and my like journey into self-awareness and introspection, and like doing me, like, and truly self-love. Like, between 20 and like 23 were those years for me. And like, if it's 14 years, like, that was, wait, hang on, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm like bugging out for a second, because I'm thinking about like multiple like astrological things happening, or like, okay, Because if it was 14 years ago would have been when I was in a first house profection year. Because I'm in an 11th house one now. And they're 12 years. Yeah. So that would have been the beginning of a cycle. That's fucking crazy. Whatever. Everything's connected, and this is just a video game, and I've got the codes now, so that's cool. If you want to crack your video game code, you can just come to ko-fi.com/Mama Capricorn and let me help you out. Although, you know what I would love? Are you going to be here tomorrow for Astro Chat and Chill? I'm looking at you, friend. Because what I think would be cool, or what could be fun, is for us to. So I don't know how to do it. I'll have to, because I'm not like savvy on Twitch just yet. So I don't know if I can have you like join my live stream, like actually join it with like you here talking. Although we could just do Zoom. I could just Zoom it, and like I did yesterday. But I think it could be fun to have like a guest on and do like a little read. We're not going to go too deep, like probably like 5-10 minutes, but to answer the question that you had popped into my inbox, because it's a question I get all the time, and it's something that makes me laugh, right? And like you're not asking like a bad question. Like so many people will be like, what job am I supposed to have? Like, can you help me figure out my career? And I can help you to look at the skills that are going to come naturally to you, and we can like match that up with like what careers, like, you know, utilize those skills. Listen to me when I say this, the skills that you have, but like, this is the skill, like, mostly anybody, like unless you're going to be doing like a very specific like niche job, and I don't know why the thing that is coming to mind for me right now is something like with your hands, like an electrician or like a carpenter. Like unless you're going to do that, okay, we're talking like organizational skills, leadership skills, sales, right, can translate into almost any career field, any job, right? So that's where there's so much more nuance. Like I made a joke, I think it was last week, like, wouldn't it be so great if I could just like pull up your chart and be like, you know what, you'd be a great architect. Like that's probably not going to happen. I can see maybe that you're a great like writer, great communicator. I can see that maybe you're someone who's like good in public, or whatever, right? Good as a mediator. That's what's so overwhelming. Too many choices. Listen, that's like literally the whole world, right? And I love having the beauty of choice because we can do whatever we want. And I think that that's where, if you are feeling overwhelmed by having too many choices, it's likely that we need to like go internal a little bit more, and like it's about grounding, right? Because like, sure, there are a lot of things that we could do, but life is long. Like I have a lot of things that I want to do, and just because I'm not doing them right now, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do them. It just means that I only have so much time and energy and so many, right? Like there's only so much I can do in a day. And that's where like strategic, like just priorities come into play, and knowing what's required, right? So this is a whole other, like, okay, this is a very common example that I've used like in many like planning parties. So if we do it right, like if you visualize, you're visualizing like a big, I try not to let people do this anymore, but I mean, you're going to either visualize in one of two ways. You're going to visualize either in the immediate future, because you can't, like you're in fight or flight and you can't think any further than that. And any further than that is just like very disconnected. And if it feels very disconnected, don't fucking worry about it and come back to what the immediate is. If you are a natural, like it's always like dreaming big, and it's like I can't come to, like I don't know where to start. That's where like just like brain, like give it to me, like give me the list, like what do you want to do? Because that's where a lot of people have like prerequisites in their mind that they're inventing, that come from nowhere, that like aren't even a thing, or they're ignoring or like bypassing prerequisites for other things. So like I see people all the time be like they want to quit their 9 to 5, or they don't have like a sustainable like business right now. So what they want to do first is write a whole book, and publish it. They want to get it published so that they can go be a public speaker. I'm going to tell you straight up, unless you are going to self-publish that book, like I did, right? If you want to self-publish your book, go nuts. You can do that. You can put it out there. You can organize your own book tours. You can get out there, pitch yourself to podcasts. You can do that. It's going to be a whole lot easier for you to do all of those things, especially getting someone else interested in publishing your book and you not having to do any of that stuff when you have a significant following on a social media platform. And that's just the truth, right? Publishers nowadays, they don't want to spend money on marketing. And so if you have a built-in audience, then they view you as a safe bet. Now, the alternative is that sometimes publishers will buy a book after it has performed. So it'll be like you've published it on Amazon already, you've like self-published it. And then that's what happened to, this is not like a supporter person, right? Not like a coach or whatever. Because that's usually like the kind of people that want to do that. It's like people who are in a supporter framework. But very well-known person who's had started self-published and is now like famous as fuck is Rupi Kaur, right? Kaur, I don't know how to say her last name. Kaur, right? She was a self-published. Her Milk and Honey book, I believe, was self-published, the first one. And then it went big, and now it's everywhere. And now she's huge. She is like literally she does tours. Yeah, it is encouraging. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Okay? It can happen. It will be easier. She would not have had to learn how to self-publish or do any of that if she had like published them individually and like made them into like an Instagram series first. But how do we know? You know what I mean? Like it's fine. Like circle makes the fucking square. She got where she wanted to go. It just depends on what you feel is going to be like the easiest way of going about it. I have to imagine she probably has like some hella cardinal placements in her chart. Like I have to imagine she's probably got some like significant Capricorn placements, or maybe she's got some Virgo placements. There's people like that tend to be like get out of my way, I'm going to do it myself type of people. And not necessarily discouraged by like technology or by like having to like learn how to do something in order to get something done. But it's not like they're going to spend, like, I don't spend a ton of time. Like, I don't want to like learn everything there is to know about publishing. Like, I want to know just enough to do the thing that I want to do. I have to imagine that's probably the energy that she has, because otherwise she wouldn't have published the book in the first place. Like, no shit. Like, that's just like facts. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's what we got going on today. Mars sextiling Chiron, and this one is for like a minute. So this is not like, we're just phasing into this. The 15th is what next? Like Wednesday, next Thursday, something like that. Next Wednesday, right? So this is about a week-long transit that we've got this going on, and it's going to be direct on Saturday. So just like bracing yourself for that. Mars sextiling Chiron, the way I interpret that is like your wheels are spinning, right? It's like, I feel like I'm not getting anywhere. And sometimes, again, it's like not like getting somewhere is not just about the motion. It's about everything that you have to move internally. It's about all of the preparation that comes into like going, right? And if you were to just like fucking go before you did any of this, you wouldn't be emotionally or spiritually ready for it, and you wouldn't be like materially ready for it either. Feel like it's the same thing as like, okay, well, I'm gonna go run a marathon now, bye, right? Versus like training and like, you know, packing what you need and, you know, having like people along the way for you to have water or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, both can accomplish the goal, but wouldn't it be easier if you did it the other way? Like, wouldn't it be easier if you like let yourself like prepare and be supported, you know? So that's what I have for you today for Astro Chat and Chill. Tomorrow, we are going to come back and we're going to have my friend here to look at her chart. We'll figure it out. I'm going to go take a nap though. So I'm going to do that. We'll figure out if we're going to like literally go into Zoom and have you here, or whether I'm just going to pull up your chart and you can be in the chat. Like, we'll see what I feel like later. But I'm not going to make that decision now because, yeah, nap time. I hope you have a great day. Love you so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you have a great day. If you're watching this on TikTok, I hope you have a great day. Have a great day, fucking friends. All right? I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.